Welcome to National 5 Business Management, Lesson 8, Business Objectives and Mission Statements. So today's learning intentions, we're learning to understand business objectives, we're learning to know which businesses' objectives are appropriate for sectors of economy, we are learning to understand the concept and use of mission statements. Success criteria, I can describe what business objectives are, I can justify the use of business objectives by sector, I can explain the use of a mission statement. So if we start off with our business objectives, the ones that are appropriate for NAT 5, we have survival, which means to break even, to keep trading. Profit maximisation, which means to make as much profit as you can. This could be achieved by increasing your selling price or reducing costs or both. Growth, to try and expand from going from like a small market trader as Tesco was originally to becoming the largest supermarket chain in the UK. Provide a service. So back in the day, if you ordered a food from a restaurant or from a delivery service from a Chinese, Indian, Italian restaurant, it would be delivered by their own drivers. Now we've got Just Eat and Uber Eats who deliver from KFC, McDonald's and all your local Indian and Chinese and takeaway 3-in-1 shops. So that's a new thing that's came about. Customer service, some companies aim to be the very best so you get repeat customers, return customers. Sales maximisation, some businesses are tasked with high volume of sales. For example, bread, milk, chocolate, they churn out millions of units of product to sell to us. And social responsibility, which basically means to take care of people and the planet, so not to damage the environment and not to exploit workers. So let's have a look at business objectives by sector. So I've got private sector owned by individuals, public sector owned by the government, third sector the voluntary sector, which takes under its wing charities, not-for-profit and social enterprises. So for survival, definitely private sector, they want to break even to keep going. Profit maximisation, they want to make a profit. Public and third aren't really concerned with that, although social enterprises may want to make a profit, but they don't want to do it at the cost of everything else. Growth, private sector definitely want to expand. Provide a service, of course, some businesses in the private sector will provide a service. Also, some public sector organisations will provide a service. The NHS and the BBC do provide a service. NHS for health, the BBC for broadcasting, and also for third sector. There are some charities and social enterprises that provide a service for the homeless, for supporting people with cancer and various other social issues that may need a wee bit extra help, like for example age concern, helping the elderly and vulnerable. So customer service, private definitely, public yes. Sales maximisation, the private sector, they want to churn out, some private sector businesses want to churn out a high volume of units of product. And for social responsibility, some private sector businesses do want to make sure they don't damage the planet or the environment or people or exploit workers. Public sector, I would say most will probably have a social responsibility policy, and of course the same for third. They don't want to damage the environment or exploit workers. So here's Ben and Jerry's. They're quite famous for caring for the environment. They have a mission statement which we'll come to in a wee minute, but it also ties in with the idea of social responsibility. They've got a product mission, economic mission, social mission. So the product mission is that they want to use the best ice cream which is natural and it's wholesome ingredients, and they protect and promote the best practices that don't damage and respect the earth and the environment. And in terms of economic, they want to be sustainable. They want to provide opportunities to grow the careers of their employees and not damage the environment in the process. And finally, their social aspect is all about trying to integrate and improve the quality of life locally, nationally and internationally, by providing, giving something back to their local community. And here's Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, often in the past criticised for not doing as much as they possibly could for social responsibility and the environment. However, one programme that I do know that they've got is to help the polar bears in their habitat and trying to save the polar bears in their habitat. Now, Coca-Cola also have this thing here, the 2020 environmental goals. They try and make sure that people get access to water, and they've done this in a lot of developing countries to help provide clean water for people. Same for energy and climate, trying to make sure they're sustainable and not to damage or promote or contribute, I should say, to climate change. Their packaging, they're moving towards biodegradable packaging and recyclable. And in terms of agriculture, they're involved now, I think, in some fair trade programs to try and make sure that they develop and help farmers, especially in the third world. Innocent Drinks, again, have something similar. They want you to eat healthy or drink healthy products, and everything's sourced sustainably so it doesn't damage, again, the environment, and they quite commendably give 10% of their profits to charity. So here's some mission statements now. Now, mission statements, we'll come in a wee second, have got these 4 elements to it: vision, values, aims and goals. There's obviously the world famous Apollo 11, the moon landing, and their overall mission was to put a man on the moon by the end of the decade, which was the 60s, and return them to the earth safely. That was President John F. Kennedy's famous statement. Now, what would your own mission statement be? So let's have a wee think, and we'll look at what vision, values, aims and goals mean. So a vision is basically a plan for the future. Values, the principles or standards that you hold. The aims, what is it you want to achieve, and then obviously the goal, the overall desired result. And these all feed into mission statements. Here's a mission statement which we're quite fortunate to go down to Manchester United one time, and we had a presentation where it was quite excellent, it was really good, and it showed us all about how they kind of promote themselves. But crucially, the mission statement was very easy to remember. So back then, they were definitely the world's richest sports team, valued at $2 billion. I think now Dallas Cowboys might have just superseded them. However, their mission statement was to be the best football club in the world on and off the pitch. So you could definitely say off the pitch, they're still up there by Real Madrid, Barcelona and Man City. They've got an excellent stadium, brilliant facilities, excellent marketing. The whole shebang is absolutely a superbly run operation. However, on the pitch at the moment, their first 11 and their squad probably aren't the best in the world, right? So they've got a bit of waiting, they've got a bit of development to go there. But however, that is their overall aim. Now, here's some other businesses with mission statements, so we'll have a look at them all. So we've got Amazon, Apple, Coca-Cola, Tesco, IKEA and Starbucks. So what do you think these guys will have as their mission statements? So Amazon, I wonder what you think it'll be. Books, deliveries. Their vision is to be the most customer centric company, to build a place where you can buy anything you want online. To be honest, they're probably well on the way to do that. Apple, to bring the best user experience to customers through innovative hardware, software and services. And basically, well, we know that an iPhone sold over 1 billion units, so again, they're probably on the way with the iPhone and iPad, and even those of us old enough to still somewhere have an iPod. Many people have got some Apple products. What's next? Coca-Cola. What do you think that'll be? It's actually quite a straightforward one. To refresh the world in mind, body and spirit. And that's the main bit. So it's not narrow and not just thinking about a drink, it's to refresh the world in mind, body and spirit. To inspire moments of optimism and happiness through our brands and actions. So again, those good old polar bears, if Coca-Cola help save those polar bears, that might create a positive vibe. For Tesco, what are they saying? We make what matters better together. Fair enough. Quite vague as well, but it kind of opens up. It's not just about food. IKEA. So we're saying here really that we offer a wide range of well-designed, functional home furnishing products at prices so low that as many as people as possible will be able to afford them, which is fair enough. Although if you ever had to try and put an IKEA flat pack together, it's sometimes not as easy as you think. And Starbucks, this is a good one, I do know this one. basically to inspire people, one person, one cup, and one neighbourhood at a time. I quite like that one. So that's Starbucks. They want you to, you know, start off, we'll change the world, one person, one coffee drink, and then one local community, one neighbourhood at a time. Okay. So in the plenary, if you want to do this pyramid, write down one question you have, 2 things you found useful, 3 facts that you learned, and if you can put it in the comments, that's fine. So overall success criteria, I can describe what business objectives are, I can justify the use of business objectives by sector, and I can explain the use of a mission statement. Right, so remember, mission statements are all about setting out their vision, their values, their aims and their goals, and communicating that to the customers and the wider public. Think of Man United's one, really straightforward. We want to be the best football club in the world, on and off the pitch. Says it all. Okay, so just to connect again, website www.mrmcgowan.blogspot, Twitter at Mr Marcus McGowan, and there's my educators, teachers pay teachers store if anyone wants to look at some products. So keep calm and love business, and I'll see you in the next video.